Hey, Shakiel Mahjouri. You can call me Shak here for MMA Mania. And you already know who this man is. He's the one championship superstar, former UFC flyweight champion, and an all-time pound-for-pound great. He'd whip my ass 10 times out of 9, but I think I can give him a run for his money in Apex Legends. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Thanks for the amazing intro.
Yeah, man, I'm getting my Sean Evans hot ones on here.
Nice.
Gotta amp it up a little bit. How are you? I'm digging the green screen. How did this setup come together? Because some people, they get the tech, others, they have to do a whole lot of research and help. How did this come together for you?
So for me, I've been streaming. And I've been gaming my whole life, but I've been streaming for about maybe four or 5 years now. And for me, I just did all the research myself, and I put this whole studio together myself. The reason why my wife was like, "Babe, you should just have somebody do it for you." I'm like, "No, babe, because if something ever goes wrong, then I have to call them and have them fix it." So
Yes, sir.
I really did all my own wiring and the computers, the green screen, this mic, all this I did it myself.
Dope
because
setup.
thanks, man. I just want to be able to, you know, have a legit setup when I'm streaming.
Agreed. And I'm going to say, though, it's dangerous that you've got the green screen just sitting there because who knows what I'm going to do to it from now until the release of this.
Hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to see what you can do with it, man. I'm looking forward. Put me in space. Put me in Thanos' chair.
Well, I will try my best, and if I can't do it, I know some capable people. No, we set this up through one championship, and I've been seeing a lot of the work they've been doing in terms of like merchandise and kind of collaborating with the fighters. How have you enjoyed being a focal part of one's promotion and marketing, especially on the North American end?
It feels great. Obviously, I have a big following in North American, stating back to what I've done in the UFC. So I think with them launching a TNT deal and me already having that huge presence here in North America, I think it just works out perfect. Obviously with Eddie Alvarez, the same way, a Sage Northcutt. So I think, One Championship has a lot of athletes that only compete over in Asia. But if you look at the whole roster of One Championship, I would say me, Eddie, and Sage Northcutt have the biggest footprint in North America.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Now, you've spoken ad nauseum. I'm sure you've been asked 100 million times about your time in the UFC. Did they do a good job of promoting you? Did they not? I don't want to dive into that specifically, but I was thinking about it, and you've got fans who would argue that they did not do a good job of trying to market you to the masses. Dana would argue that he often puts you in very great spots, whether it was the co-main of big pay-per-views or headlining your own shows, which got me thinking, do you think the UFC did not market you, or did they mismarket you? Because as you can see right now with your setup, there is a crowd of people who I think they could have done a better job of marketing you towards. In fact, you're one of the only people a number of my gaming friends know of in the UFC.
That's what's up, and they probably know more about gaming than
Exactly.
martial arts. So, for me to say that, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. And at the end of the day, I think I did my best of my ability to go out there, perform, be very outspoken about who I am, and not change my character. And it's up for the company; they can find that right niche to be able to market me. I think One Championship's doing a great job. Obviously, with One Championship just launched in their new esports division.
Mm-hmm.
Me being a big fan of anime and video games, they seem to cater. And obviously, the audience over there is totally different than North American audience, correct? I mean, North American audience, they want drama, they want disrespect, they want somebody to go on, Twitter and Instagram yapping back and forth with each other. Over in Asia, that doesn't fly. They're not looking to, support punks and people who are bashing each other or cutting fighters down and all that stuff. So I think it's just two different types of entities that are going on when it comes to marketing and promoting. I mean, I think at the end of the day, any athlete who's hoping they're going to become a champion and thinking that's going to take care of them financially has a wrong mindset, to be honest with you. I think the biggest thing that I learned from being a professional athlete or a champion is to create multiple streams of income. And obviously to save your money. And I think that's the right mindset to have. Build your brand, and I'm still building my brand. You know what I mean? I'm building my Mighty Gaming, my streaming brand. I'm also focusing on, I'm about to launch another product here pretty soon. That's separate from One Championship and what I've done in North America. This is me going on my own and doing this. You know what I mean? And I think that's the most important thing athletes need to focus on is building your brand. You look at a guy like Sean O'Malley, he's building his brand. He's got, great swag. He's very big on marijuana, He's like, I'll light you up and smoke a doobie too, so he's building his brand. I think athletes, Conor McGregor, he's built a brand. Ronda Rousey, they built brands, so they're able to go outside of the mixed martial arts world and do something. So for me, when I'm building my brand in the gaming world, of course, there's thousands, there's millions of gamers out there in the world that play video games, but there's not another gamer like me that's had, won 12 or 13 consecutive world championship in mixed martial arts and is a pretty decent gamer. Now, am I going to be better at games than the professional gamers? Absolutely not. Those guys clocked in 50, 60, infinite many hours in gaming, but they haven't been able to achieve what I've accomplished on my platform, and I've never been able to achieve what they've accomplished on their platform. But I'm dipping my toes into their platform because it's a big passion of mine, and that's why I think that's what I've learned the most about being a professional athlete in mixed martial arts. Being champion is phenomenal. Yes, there's financial benefits from that, to be able to have a setup like I have to invest the money back into myself. I mean, that's what Warren Buffett says. The best investment you can make is in yourself. And I've done that. Now that I've invested into myself, I'm able to take this investment that I put into myself and bring in some to be able to do different things with it.
Agreed, wholeheartedly. And there's some much needed advice for fighters on the up and up. I'm gonna get a little gossipy real quick. When you were UFC flyweight champion, you really did take on all comers. In some cases more than once. Henry Cejudo, the matchmaking lately has been a little controversial, whether it's the Jose Aldo fight with Aldo coming off of a loss, or now potentially Dominick Cruz, who isn't even ranked. Now, there are circumstances, I'm sure, outside of fighters' controls with the ongoing pandemic, but you've got Aljamain Sterling, Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen all kind of up in arms because they are much closer to a title shot. Just quick thoughts. What do you think about the way Henry has been tackling picking his fights since becoming the champion?
Well, obviously he's a champion, and the promotion organization is going to let him dictate who he wants to, whatever, then you can't argue that. At the end of the day, my whole goal was to just fight, the athletes that were in that division, working their way up to a title shot. Obviously there's always that, controversy. Oh, he didn't fight, TJ Dillashaw. One, I knew he wasn't going to be able to make the weight healthy. Obviously he showed that he can make the weight, but obviously he needed to take something to be able to perform. So obviously he could not make the weight healthy. And obviously there was a lot of guys who put a lot of work into my division, Chris Carriasso, Kyojo Horiguchi, Tim Elliott, he won the Ultimate Fighter, so forth and so forth. So I felt it was right to give those guys the opportunity to fight for a belt instead of, somebody who hasn't been putting work in. Obviously, Dominick Cruz situation, he's been injury prone, for a very long time. He's been busy with doing the analyzing on the UFC. So, like I said, if that's how Henry Cejudo wants to go about his way of his title reign, that's his reign. My reign was phenomenal, fantastic.
Fair enough. The MMA space is a very collaborative environment. Like, the sport's still very much in its early stages, and everyone's kind of looking for that next secret sauce, whether it's the techniques or the game plans. And I imagine a lot of ideas and theories get put to the test in the training room. In the search of the ultimate headline, what is your hottest MMA hot take?
What do you mean by MMA hottest hot take?
Like an opinion that maybe a lot of your peers wouldn't agree with, whether that has to do with technique or promotion or whatever.
I don't know. I never really sat down and thought about that, to be honest with you.
Do you have one for video games?
And what context?
I'll say off the top of my head, Apex Legends is the only battle royale game that is a good video game standalone.
Okay, first thing I would say is you're high.
Well, it could be carried over for Monday.
Yeah, so my thing would say, I would say Escape from Tarkov is probably the best first-person shooter I played in a very, very long time. Reason why? Obviously, it's not as popular for streamers to play it because it doesn't generate a lot of viewership from my experience. But I feel like how complex the game is with the first-person shooting, with the guns, the loadout, the mags, the magazines you have, the bullets, the gear you have, it's just literally night and day. And it's been my favorite game to play as of right now. a lot of people argue, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is way better than that. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, it's the same game you've been playing for the past 20 years.
Agreed.
I'm not saying Call of Duty Modern Warfare is not a good game, but it's nowhere. It doesn't even come close to touching a game like Escape from Tarkov. So that's what I'll use, in that question you asked me.
Fair enough. I'm an RPG guy at heart, so shout out to Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect. As we wrap up,
those games are fantastic. The Star Wars and Knights of the Old Republic, they just the new MMO they did was straight horrible. I played it and I was like, oh, greedy traveler, can you go stop the smuggler? I'm like, yes, I'll stop the smuggler for the 15th time. But I love RPG. I'm actually looking to get into playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You should. I've heard terrific things. Last thing for you here, and this is probably the stupidest question you're going to be asked for several weeks. You're, of course, Mighty Mouse, and so I've picked out a number of famous cartoon mouses, and I just like you to rank them because someone pays me to do this. Okay. The 5 I've got are Mickey Mouse, Jerry from Tom and Jerry, Speedy Gonzales, of course, Mighty Mouse, and I couldn't think of a good 4th one. So since I had some pet rats once upon a time, let's go with Remy from Ratatouille.
We're gonna go with Mickey Mouse because he owns everything and he's rich, so he can do whatever he wants. He can build Tony Stark's Iron Man. Shit, hell, he owns Iron Man. Okay,
Truth.
So I'm gonna go with Mickey Mouse as number one.
All right, then we got Jerry, Speedy Gonzales, Mighty Mouse, and Remy.
Yeah. I would go Mickey Mouse number 1. I would say Jerry. We'll put Mighty Mouse at number 2. We'll put Speedy Gonzales at 3. Then we'll put Jerry at 4, and then we'll put that rat from Ratatouille who's eating all that pasta at 5. I've never seen that movie, so.
Fair enough. Demetrious Ben, that's all I got from you. This will come out in the next few days. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But as of right now, your fight on May 29th versus Adriana Moraes for the One Championship flyweight title at Infinity One is still on, correct?
As far as I know, I believe it still is. But with what's going on with the world today, I don't even know if I can get a ticket to go to Manila, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I was talking to another athlete today who's scheduled to be on the card, and I was like, dude, if you keep your eyes on the news, you can see what's going on. Cases keep on coming up, arising over in that area. And my honest opinion is if we're having a hard time getting testing done and we're not opening up, and we are a well-ran country. We got funding. We got money. You know what I mean? My mother-in-law just went to go get physical therapy, and they're like, if you want to do physical therapy here, you need to take a test. And she goes, perfect. She took a test. Negative. She went off dinner her physical therapy. But if I'm hearing that we're having a hard time testing, I can only imagine what's going on over there in Asia, in places like Manila or Jakarta or Indonesia. We have no idea. So as of right now, the fight is scheduled to go on, but my gut tells me that I don't foresee that fight happening May 29th.
Okay, DJ, again, I want to thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate your insight and your candidness, and most importantly, stay safe. Well wishes to you and your family.
Awesome. Thanks, bro.